welcome back to the Eric Crown Crypto channel. Wishing you a happy early start to this nice Friday. It's Friday. It's Freaky Friday. It's finally Friday. It's Friday. I don't know. Anyways, plenty to discuss today, as there's actually some very big high-term time frame ideas that are about to get the next sort of brick in the overall house that we've been looking at for the past, I guess, it's got to be like a month and a half now, maybe even going on 2 months. Other than that, I wanted to once again humbly request that if you do find this content valuable, if you find this in some way useful, then please do consider liking and subscribing and herping the dirt button as well. Anyways, yes, so let's just jump right on into it. I want to waste no more time, and let's start off right on over here with the 5-day time frame. So you probably think you know where I'm going with this. Actually, no, we're not going to start off on that particular note. We're going to start off on a different note. And in this case, there is something very, very interesting going on with the 5-day stochastic oscillator that's been relevant since pretty much the all-time highs of actually, I guess this was 2 years ago now in 2021. Starting off with September 2021. Yeah, that wasn't the all-time high, but you'll get the idea in a second here. Anyways, as you can see, the 5-day stochastic oscillator has been working on this nice trendline regression going on for, again, almost close to 3 years now. And this has essentially governed a lot of the major highs throughout that time as well. Starting off with this high right here. This was a nice rejective high coming in from that $52,000, $53,000 region. Then, of course, the all-time high a few months later. And then more recently in April on the bull trap that led Bitcoin down from about 45,000 bucks to kind of our current area as it is right here. In the current moment, Bitcoin is going to have a chance, or the 5-day stochastic oscillator is going to have a chance to break that trend line that's been living under for the past few years. With any sort of a closure today, basically here or higher, the 5-day stochastic oscillator will actually remain with upside posture as long as Bitcoin is above 16,950, but obviously wouldn't, be this aggressive, as you can see the forecast right here, if it fails to hold, like, let's say, upper $20,000 territory. So that is going to be clarified as soon as tonight, assuming that Bitcoin doesn't dump out to all damn hell, which is obviously possible. We've seen crazier things than that happen in a day's worth of time frame. But so far, so good. And I should also denote that the 5-day stochastic oscillator is supported by the DMI as well here. And I also forgot to add, but yeah, we do have that nice trendline regression coming in from the last few major lows as well, which has gotten accurately our current low here. Anyways, now into something that you perhaps are more familiar with. This is going to be the 5-day volatility versus stochastic momentum chart. 5-day BBWP, which represents volatility, aka the dispersion of returns getting down to extreme lows, which defined as anything below 15 percentile or more over the past almost 5 years, has led to a natural expansion phase, as it's mathematically programmed to, which has led to an average move born upon that signature of about 42.35%, done over the course of an average of about 37 days from the setup being confirmed. From the setup showing up, and also took a first standard deviation measurement here as well. And also, what is very interesting about this is that the 5-day stochastic oscillator has been correct in getting the direction of the volatility expansion actually perfectly throughout the past 5 years. And yeah, it worked again this time as well. I don't expect this always to work out perfectly, obviously. And realistically, there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 iterations. I mean, I need to see like fucking 50 before it's even relevant. But hey, so far so good. And well, the thing is that if Bitcoin continues with its upside momentum, again closing especially above even 20,000 bucks, we'll see this one head up, break the trend line, and also maintain the conditions for continuation as a likelihood here as well. And then that means that these statistics are still applicable. And seeing as the setup officially was born right here, that would be about the first week of January. We are about 2 weeks mature within this one right now. Yeah, 2 weeks to the day actually, just about. So I might sneeze. So apologies if I interrupt myself. Oh man, I can feel it coming on. All right, fuck it, just let it rip, baby. It's not coming now. All right, well, whatever. Anyways, yes. So. Yes, so we're seeing volatility expansion. We're seeing the 5-day stochastic oscillator continue, and the days taken minus about 2 weeks would be 14 days, would put us about a little bit less than halfway through this signal. So that would be theoretically, if the average is relevant, which, there's going to be some variance within there, we'd still be looking at around like maybe end of February, actually, closer to end of February. So that would suggest that this rally like continues in, over that time frame. Yes, there will very likely be pullbacks that will be visible on shorter term time frames, but these statistics over here, still align with higher prices as more likely. So far, we've seen this rally, which has been let me see if I can actually get this properly. Where is that signal being born from? It was like right here. So far, we've seen about a 25% rally off the lows, which is pretty damn good. But even that is not within the context of the bottom end of the first standard deviation, which is actually another 10% higher at 35 and a quarter, and nowhere near the average nor the upper end of the first standard deviation. So let's just play around with these numbers here and see, where the relevant regions would be should Bitcoin get continuation. So 35% puts Bitcoin at about 23,250. Keep that number in the back of your mind's eye. It's going to come up a few at the times. 42% puts Bitcoin at about 24,350, kind of around the last closing highs from the summer, should you note, and 49% puts Bitcoin at the wick highs from the summer at about $25,500. So as long as as long as the stochastic also remains in this upside posturing here, I do look at that as, areas of interest, let's say, and probably more likely than not. The only way that I really invalidate this is, again, coming back down below about 19,400, 19,500 and closing below there. If that happens, I'm going to turn into a massive fucking bear and probably look for returns back down to the current lows. But I don't think that that's the most likely thing to be happening right here. I think that this is a short-term disbelief rally, if you will. Anyways, I won't get into the minutia of that because I'll just end up talking shit, and we don't really need that right now, do we? Anyways, yes, so let's jump right in over here. Another familiar chart. I just want to remind myself kind of where we're in within the greater context of things. I do understand that I repeat myself a lot on this channel, and that's simply because things don't really change all that much on a day-to-day basis. And of course, there's new people, watching as well. So maybe maybe don't know. But hey, I'm not gonna like make up new shit just for the sake of entertainment. I understand that entertainment is like the true value of social media, but I have to fucking balance it for my soul. Otherwise, Dubai gets you to a little bit too much, man. A little bit too much. I have to say, in some ways, I absolutely love Dubai. In some ways, I absolutely fucking hate Dubai. What do I like about it? I like that you can have a relaxed lifestyle, but goddamn, man, the running around and everything, and it's like who's who and who's going where and who's doing what, and it's like, oh my fucking god, man, is this high school gossip again? What the fuck is this, man? I'm just trying to chill, man. I'm just trying to chill on a beach and read my book and lift weights and look at fucking magic internet money. All right, cool. Anyways, before I interrupted myself, the 12-hour HPDR indicator is still very much relevant right here. It accurately got the range highs and range lows between the 90% historical return range highs right here in this consolidation and the lows right here on the 80% historical return range, and is still operating within the context of that. So that would give it a range between about 20,500 or 24,450 if you want to be super exact to the downside, versus the upside at about 21,350. This is on a 12-hour time frame closing basis. If Bitcoin does close below the bottom side of it, I would be looking for a greater retracement, obviously, somewhere down around about 19.5 or so, perhaps around the 382, at least around $20,000, and very likely a try for a bounce there. But again, below the 382, I'm pretty fucking bearish, actually. This would be on spot price action, not on CME, by the way. Anyways, and to the upside, and what I actually think is more likely here, because Bitcoin is grinding up against this resistance, which typically is a sign of continuation. I'd be looking for big moves up. How big up might you be asking? Well, we can go and reference the quant data over here, the quant statistics for the 12-hour HPDR short scalp, which is this particular setup where when Bitcoin or whatever asset closes above the top side of the blue range highs, which is the 50% historical range highs, we then look for when volatility starts to contract alongside still being above that, those range highs. And that happened right here on this green vertical bar. And that initiates this setup as to where, traditionally speaking, statistically speaking, I actually do think that downside is a little more likely. Although, not significantly more likely. Out of 50 iterations with this particular setup, 31 worked out in this fashion. That gives it a 62% strike rate. Took about 7 days on the win side for this one to play out versus about 6 days on the loss side to play out, and we've already eaten up a lot of days within that. This started on the 16th. We're now the 20th, so 4 days minus that, so that'd be 3 days. Yeah, 3 days versus 2 days. So yeah, within the next few days, we expect this one to continue. If it is going to do that. And what's most interesting about this is that on the win side, so when this setup plays out to the downside, gained about 8% in the account value, and versus the loss side, which means an upside move, it lost about 9.25% in account value. So it's just as interesting, just as useful, just as valuable in understanding the failure as the success. Again, failure above here, success below here, and we already kind of know the success route, basically back down to the mid-19s, but for the failure route, 9% on top of price action would put Bitcoin where? Well, that's a little bit too much, but about 23,200 to 23,000 ish, which aligns with what we looked at over here. Very fucking interesting now, isn't it? We can take that another step further later on, I guess, if you really want. But in the meantime, I would once again like to reference stochastic momentum, see what essentially is happening here. We'll actually go to spot price action for this particular one. I just want to see if it's different. Nah, it ain't much different here. Actually, it is quite different, in fact, as far as the pivots go. The daily will turn back to the upside as far as stochastic momentum goes. If Bitcoin closed today above 21,200, which it's only $100 below right now, it's not out of the question, certainly. 12-hour time frame is nosediving below 21,450, so a little bit more concerning, obviously. 6-hour time frame is actually going to turn up, and even play out this trendline regression test. And goddamn, I have too many fucking magical lines over here. With any sort of a closure above 20,750, which currently about $400 above right now, or $500 above right now. 4-hour time frame is probably already up, as we identified yesterday, and indeed it is. And same sort of trend line coming in from here. Boom, you get the idea. Too many goddamn lines. Same pivot, 20,750, and the hourly is going to be flippy floppy, like my PP, at 21,126. So what does that mean? So what does it all mean? What does it all mean? It means magic lines, baby. Magic fucking lines. Show me the magic lines. Show me where the magic lines are, and I'll show you where the money is. Maybe. We can just all continue to tell stories to ourselves about price action. It's beautiful. What does it all mean? Well, those pivots basically is just a streamlined way of kind of looking at, hey, close above here, continuation, close below here, reversal. Until then, a little bit of range action, probably short term, maybe tries back down somewhere around the 21 here, but even that's like not super interesting. The 4-hour did confirm its hidden bullish divergence as we accounted for yesterday. So I would generally be looking for, maybe an intraday or maybe tomorrow over the weekend, test back up towards the range highs. It doesn't imply a break of the range highs, but obviously if that happens, that would put a lot of these stochastic oscillators in a position to continue to the upside as well. And at that point, I do think still it's a lot more likely that Bitcoin tries for one more move to the upside. Oh, what's that? Around the 200 moving average? Where's that? 23,170. Oh, that's pretty fucking interesting. That number keeps on popping up now, doesn't it? So yeah, and probably stop along the way at like 22.5 or some shit like that as well. Some shit like that. Very technical crown. Nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, I think that's a good place for me to be leaving this one off. It's been requiring a bit of patience this week, but hey, patience is a hell of a drug and has been, well, actually rather useful, especially in the past couple months here, as these setups slowly play out like molasses. Again, I want to reiterate the importance of 20,500 to the downside, and especially 19,500 to the downside, or 19,400, let's say. That's where I get very, very bearish, but until then, sideways, I actually do look at it as rather good for the blue laws there. And maybe into next week, probably tries for one more leg higher. At least that's what these statistics would say is a little bit more of a likelihood here. Anyways, as always, I forgot to shill Bybit. Go get wrecked on Bybit. It's great. It's amazing. No, just kidding. Don't get fucking wrecked on Bybit. If you're looking for a strategy, go check out the channel video of this channel. Redundant. It'll show you an actual viable strategy. No, it's not optimized, but it'll at least work, or at least that's the way that it was back tested, which the results shouldn't really change too much. In fact, I've back tested it more recently, and yeah, still very, very similar. I think even improvements in some regards as well. there's a link there for the old Bybit show. 0% on maker fees for derivative contracts. I believe only my link allows for that. And yeah, wish you the best as always. Take care, much love, and see you hopefully soon.